morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome in. I hope you all had a good weekend. It was a good weekend for me. So hopefully it was for you guys as well. We've got a lot to talk about, actually. We've got tons going on. Sass, good morning. Yeah, we got lots to talk about. So first and foremost, there is football this week. It's coming quick. But we do have a preseason game on Thursday, the Hall of Fame game, August 31st. And I will be covering that. So we'll talk about it on the stream. We'll talk bets on the stream. We'll talk daily fantasy plays as well on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. If you guys are excited to, I don't want to say I don't go as hard as I used to in the preseason DFS streets, but I will be playing. I do plan to play and I plan to cover it with analysis. So you guys can tune in on Thursday. And then if you are interested in the DFS side of things, you know where to find that as well. So excited for that. Excited just in general that there is football Thursday. And with that is going to come the big fantasy football kind of draft season. I will have the rest of the divisional previews up very soon. I've began to work on the futures articles as well. So plan for this week in a nutshell would be to get the rest of the divisional previews out, rollinginsights.com. The AFC's up if you want to go read those. Finish up my draft reviews of the FSGA draft I just did. That's going to be a blog post as well. So that'll be on the website. NFL futures article will be up on the website. And then we have football on Thursday to talk about as well. And then, the big article that I write that tells you who I'm going to take and like how I'm going to build my teams round by round. I always try and drop that in kind of relation to the Fantasy Football Expo, which I've attended the last few years. And that is next weekend, actually. It's going to be it's like the 9th and the 10th, I believe, August 9th and the 10th. So that's going to be early plan for my big round by round article, hopefully to drop on like Saturday the 9th, coinciding with the Fantasy Football Expo. So lots of moving parts, lots going on. Really, really excited for football and just tons of content. I told you guys I've already kind of pieced together the in-season content schedule for the upcoming year. We'll review that on the stream once we get closer to the season. But yeah, we're about to get into the thick of draft season. Love the article. Appreciate you. I've had a lot of good feedback on that article in the past. I think we've done pretty well. Like I said, I've won over 55% of my fantasy leagues the last 4 years, and that's really when I started putting that article together. Kadar, thanks for the sharing of the stream there. I appreciate that. But we've done really well. And last year, if you guys read the article last year, I think it's so funny. Every single person that I highlighted in the My Guys section of that article gets drafted so significantly higher this year than they did last year. Like we had Achane in there. We had Rashee Rice in there, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Ladd McConkey. All those guys are like in the first 4 rounds this year. So it's going to be tough, but there's other guys that I like this year. And I'll be putting a lot of work into how I want to build my teams for the upcoming season over the next 2 weeks. I'm really excited. This is football season, and the fall is the best time of the year. And this kind of next month, the build up to it is so fun with all the drafts and just going through all the teams and college too. Like I'm excited to talk college futures and I'm just ready for college football in general as well. We've done very well betting college football in the past 2 years as well. So super excited. We're in a good space here. for the upcoming. And if you guys have any questions on anything, I have some more updates to make to my fantasy rankings too. So if you guys have missed out, you haven't been tuning into the streams, Draft Kit is free, rollinginsights.com. You can get my fantasy rankings there that's published to the community. And I'm going to have an update coming for that tonight or tomorrow morning. There's some guys I need to move up. We need to move. I need to move Tank Bigsby up for sure because it looks like he is pretty much a lock to be the starter for the Jags. And I feel like, I mean, I didn't really know. Like, I was waiting for training camp to see how that would play out, but it looks like Tank Bigsby is kind of the shoe-in to be the starter there. So I need to move him up. I think he's a really good pick where he currently goes. The Jaguars offense in general is one to invest in. I like Liam Cohen. I think he's a good play caller. I think they'll be able to score points. So whoever is starting for them is definitely a good fantasy pick, especially when, I mean, Tank Bigsby goes like outside the top 150 right now. So it looks like a pretty good value. We'll see kind of where he moves with this kind of camp reports and news, but I feel like the fantasy community isn't very high on Tank Bigsby in general. So maybe that's something we can, take advantage of. And there's a couple other guys that I want to move up as well. So look for that update. We'll talk about it on the stream tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever that is. But yeah, definitely have some updates to make. In terms of weekend recap, once again, got really close to another golf outright. We had Akshay Bhatia, who was tied for the lead going into Sunday. Jake Knapp was one back of the lead. Neither of them ended up winning. Kurt Kitayama ended up winning. I'm pretty upset because he was on my list and just did not make the final cut. Jim, good morning. So we could have hit another outright yesterday. Obviously, Knapp and Bhatia were in the mix. Bhatia just gutless performance yesterday. I think he was like 5-0. It was like one of the worst rounds he's ever played professionally. Just truly, just terrible. But Jake Knapp was right in the mix. Just kind of unfortunate though, man, because I really had Kitayama high on my board. It's just he just didn't end up being in those 6 guys. So that was unfortunate, but it's always fun to have a good golf sweat, and we have had a lot of those over the last month and a half. Baseball is kind of going. We'll probably talk more baseball on Wednesday when Steve comes on. I'll see if there's any. We can take a look at the board tonight, see if anything is sticking out to me there. In terms of bets, NFL news. I'm trying to see if there's any like stuff to round up. I mean, Joe Mixon, that injury situation looks significant, and I don't really have much faith in Nick Chubb at this point. So I don't know. Like, are the Texans going to be in the market for a running back? Are they going to look to pick someone up? Maybe that gets cut. They might have to. If they have concerns about Joe Mixon's health, I don't really think I'd want to be relying on Nick Chubb at this current stage as the starting running back. So, maybe they look to pick somebody up that gets cut. I don't know. I'm not worried about the Matt Stafford injury. I saw a lot of discourse about that. Matt Stafford really doesn't miss games. And Matt Stafford's also had back issues for like his entire career. It's not like he is a new quarterback. Like, he's always had back issues, I feel like. So I'm not really worried about the Matt Stafford injury stuff. I'm also not worried about the Justin Jefferson hamstring injury. I saw a lot of talk about that. I'm not personally concerned, I guess I should say, at the moment. I think it's fine. We saw that same situation with Jahmyr Gibbs last year. Very early in camp, had a hamstring injury. They were very cautious with him, and it ended up not affecting him whatsoever during the season. He had a monster season. If you're going to get any sort of a discount on Justin Jefferson because of this hamstring injury in the last week of July, I would look to take advantage of that. Like, if you can, I don't know. I haven't looked at the ADP or done any drafts to see if he is falling, but if he falls an extra couple spots because of this, I'd take him all day in like the back end of the first round, most definitely. So not concerned about Justin Jefferson, not concerned about Matt Stafford. Joe Mixon I am concerned about, and I'm concerned about the Texans running game in general. I think I've seen multiple sources have them as the worst offensive line in football. And they had a bad offensive line last year too. And Joe Mixon still had a good season, but they also still had Laramie Tunsil last year, and they traded him away. So I think there's some room for this to be a really, really bad offensive line. So I'm probably not really looking to invest in their running back situation as it is. Makes me like the passing situation more. Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins are like the two kind of big buys for me on Houston this year. I also want to talk a little bit. I tweeted about it late last week, but this whole thing with this Cam Newton, Jalen Hurts debate, I'm tired of seeing it, to be honest. And if I commented on this last week on stream, I wouldn't talk about it today. But I don't really understand what are these people. A lot of people I see talking about this, I know they watch football too. So I'm really kind of confused. And look, Jalen Hurts has always been he's always had to deal with the just like haters. I don't know. It's always happened. It happened when the Eagles drafted him. They had Carson Wentz on their team, and they drafted Jalen Hurts relatively high in the draft, and he got a ton of hate. I defended that. And I don't feel like I need to come on here and defend Jalen Hurts because I have been vindicated in my Jalen Hurts analysis and fandom because he is a Super Bowl MVP and won a Super Bowl. So I don't feel like I need to defend that take anymore because I've been vindicated in that. But the people, it's always an excuse with this guy. It's the Eagles, they can't win with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. That's what the narrative was. Then they went to a Super Bowl and lost. And it's, he's good enough, but he can't win the big game, right? Then that was the thing. Then they get Saquon Barkley and improve their defense, and they win a Super Bowl like any really good team could do. They went and they win the Super Bowl, and now it's, any quarterback could win with that team. That's not how this works because the Eagles went to the Eagles defense was not that great when they went to the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts the first time and almost won. It's not like they were the Carolina Panthers, the Cam Newton Carolina Panthers that got completely embarrassed when they went to the Super Bowl by the Denver Broncos defense and did nothing because that happened. The Eagles went to the Super Bowl with a not as great defense and they had the lead. Jalen Hurts led a late touchdown drive in the fourth quarter and took the lead in that game. And, the Chiefs went down and kicked a field goal to win the game. That's what happened. But I don't understand this discourse. And the people that are commenting on this, again, I know that these people watch football. What stat is Cam Newton better at Jalen Hurts than? Someone tell me. That because Jalen Hurts is a better actual teammate and leader than Cam Newton, and there's no stats that Cam Newton is better in either. Just Jalen Hurts has played 4 years, as a starter. Go compare that to Cam Newton's first 4 years as a starter. What is Cam better at? There's nothing. There's no stats unless he's better at throwing interceptions. I truly don't understand this. And this is not, I'm not speaking negatively on Cam Newton. I like Cam Newton, but there's no stats that Cam Newton is better in. I don't understand this. And I've seen this, I feel like it's because it's the off season, but this debate has carried on for multiple days. And I'm tired of seeing it, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. As far as there was something else I wanted to comment on too. So you guys know that the article I write, I might have to retire from my home league. I'm gonna be honest with you guys because I go and do these drafts all the time. And I've played against a lot of people that watch the stream. I've played in leagues with you. Like, I go and do these drafts and I build my team exactly how my article states, because that's what the article is predicated on. I do drafts, and then I analyze how I build my teams, and I bring that to the people because I think that I am knowledgeable and can win fantasy leagues. So that's what I do every year. And then every single year I go to my home league draft with, when I say my home league, like with my family and friends, and every single one of them reads my article, and then it's like they don't let me take anybody that I have written about. And I got in a huge argument with multiples of my family members over the weekend about this, because I know they do it on purpose. And I don't know. I'm at the point I might have to create a live stream home league with all of you because I know you guys have if you watch the stream, you have integrity and transparency, and you guys wouldn't do it. You wouldn't purposely take guys that you're not going to take guys rounds ahead of ADP just to prevent me from getting them. I don't think any of you would do that. So I don't know. We might have to explore this in the coming years, a live stream league or something, because I mean, I went off on my uncle. I'm going to be honest with you guys last night. Like it was like a full-fledged argument. I don't really get mad that much, but I was heated because I'm honestly tired of it. It happens every single year, and they try and bait me into talking about guys that they know I like so that they can snipe me. And it started last night. It started last night with George Kittle, and I'm just done with it. So stay tuned. We might have to make a listener league, and yeah, I don't know, because I'm done with these so-called family members that just take advantage year after year, and then it's crazy. I don't know. I'll have to detail this to you guys in the future. I'll show you guys some examples of what I'm talking about. Also, if anyone in here consumes, I'm assuming most of you consume other betting content than myself, please, someone tag me, reach out to me. I've wanted to do this for multiple years, and I've never found someone that wants to step up to the plate. Somebody tag me or let me know of another betting personality. I want to do a season-long NFL betting challenge. I'll put up 500. I'll put up 1,000, whatever. Whatever amount. I'd probably cap it at 1,000. But if somebody that also creates betting content wants to do a contest against me, 1-for-1, 3 sides, a touchdown pick, and a parlay, 5 bets a week for NFL. We lock the bets in prior to, I would say, no Thursday nighters. So this is just how in my brain the contest would work. Sunday main slate and Sunday night football. 3 sides, a touchdown scorer, and a parlay. The parlay can be a same game parlay, a money line parlay, whatever you want it to be, capped out at 3 legs. So, someone doesn't hit some crazy lottery one week and win the season based off of one pick, but 5 picks a week. I'll cover it on stream. We'll do content for it. Like I said, I'll put up 500. I'll put up 750. I'll put up 1,000 for the season. And whoever has the most units won at the end of the season wins. I would love to do this against someone. So if anybody has someone in mind that they would like to see me go head to head against for the NFL season, I would love to do it. I've wanted to do this for years, and I can never find someone that wants to step up to the plate. So someone step up and let's do it. I think it would be really fun, and it would be good, to cover and make content around. All right. That being said, let's move on to this week. We do have a golf tournament this week, the Wyndham Championship. We'll talk about this on Wednesday. A bit better field at the Wyndham than at the 3M last weekend. So some other guys to pick from. I will give my golf picks out on Wednesday. For baseball tonight, there was a couple spots I had circled. We can dive in a little bit deeper on them if you guys want. Let me pull up my list here. And if you guys have questions or anything, go ahead and drop those in. I was looking at the first and foremost San Francisco Giants tonight at home. This got steamed a little bit, though. It was minus 125 earlier. It's minus 132 now. I've been pretty comfortable fading Keller and the Pirates in general. So I do like the Giants a little bit tonight. I also think that we could probably take a small look at Chase Burns. I know it's the Dodgers. I'm going to put the Reds in the maybe category. And then the over in this late night game, you guys know we've bet overs or props in these games in this A's ballpark quite a bit this year. I don't hate the over in this game. And then just looking even on the Mariners side, someone taking some props against JP Sears, I think would be fine. His numbers aren't that bad, honestly. 3.95 expected ERA, 20% strikeout rate. His fastball's okay though, and he throws a lot of them. Almost 50% of the time, fastball usage. So looking for Mariners guys with good numbers against fastballs. If I just look at the Mariners in general this year, other than Cal Raleigh and Randy Arozarena, those are really the big ones for me. But they did just acquire Josh Naylor as well. I know like he's a lefty, so doesn't really play in this specific matchup. But both Cal and Arozarena have good career numbers against lefties, and they have the best numbers this year on the Mariners. Randy did hit a home run over the weekend as well, which is good to see. You guys know from the past, Randy's one of those guys I do like to ride when he is seeing the ball well. He can hit home runs in bunches. He does not have good numbers this year against fastballs or for his career, though. So kind of an interesting spot. If we go all the way back to 2022, he had some good fastball numbers. But other than that, it was 261 in 2023 batting average against fastballs, 180 last year, and then 218 this year. So he's kind of struggled to hit fastballs, but yeah, he has been hot, and that's when we like to ride him because he does get hot streaks. I feel like quite a bit. Let me see if we have any history of these two against each other. Oh my God, Randy Arozarena is 0 for 8 in his career against JP Sears, but a 93 mile an hour average exit velocity. That's the highest number of anybody except for Julio Rodriguez. He's at 94 in 25 at bats. Interesting. Julio, I think, is good against fastballs. Let me double check this. I don't know. I kind of want to bet on Randy just because of this. Like, last year, Julio against fastballs last year, 325 batting average, 57% hard hits. That's good. 2 years ago, 305 and 61. That's very good. 3 years ago, 325, 62. That's very good. So yeah, he's definitely a better bet would be Julio, but let me see. I mean, the odds reflect that, but it's kind of low odds regardless if we're talking home runs. Let me check hits, runs, RBIs since FanDuel never has this up. So I need to go and check elsewhere. Let's see. Hits, runs, RBIs. Julio is so juicy. He's at 2.5. Arozarena's at -140 on DraftKings for 1.5. So I'm just never gonna bet at 2.5. I don't think so. That's probably a pass on Julio. Randy, maybe. I don't like laying -140 on those though. Now total bases for Julio, it's at -130-ish, depending on your book. And then a Rosarena, it's at even money. Actually, you can get +100 on DraftKings for the over 1.5 there for total bases. I don't know. I might just stick with the over, but I do kind of want to bet Randy just because he kind of feels like he's due for a hit here off of this guy. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I do like the over in general, though, on that game. Giants, I like a lot. And then Reds, I'm putting in the maybe category. I don't see anything else that really sticks out. I mean, you could use Rangers money line as a parlay piece. We could look at some Braves props too. So we know Rich Hill, lefty. There was a lot of fastball, curveball is what we're going to see from him. Didn't throw any sinker. So this is interesting. So the last time we saw Rich Hill last year, he threw his sinker. This was a very, very limited sample size, but his sinker was his second most used pitch last year in the small amount we saw him. And then if we go back to 2023, he was curveball, fastball, but still mixed in his sinker a good amount. In his first, this time we saw him last week, this first start, he really didn't throw his sinker that much at all. It was mainly fastball, curveball. His fastball has not been great in recent years, whatsoever. We go all the way back to 2022, he gave up a 320 batting average with it, 260 last year. It didn't look great to me in that one start last year. We always know he's a lefty. So looking for guys on the Braves that hit lefties well, who comes to mind? Someone that we just hit the other week, which was Marcell Ozuna. You have Ronald Acuna in there. Marcell Ozuna against fastballs. Let me take a look here. Yeah, 300 expected batting averages here, 64% hard hit rate. He had monster numbers last year against fastballs, 2 years ago, 3 years ago as well. So let me see his odds. And I also like Acuna as well. Let me pull up. Hold on. Let me pull Braves numbers in general up. What has Acuna been doing? Let's take a look. Acuna against fastballs. This year, not very good. Last year, not very good. 2 years ago, very good. I don't know. It looks pretty inconsistent. Let's try Austin Riley. I don't think he's a great fastball hitter either. No, he's pretty bad. Let's see. Let's check the odds. I mean, Acuna 3-1 home run. Let me check. It might be. None of these Braves guys have good numbers against fastballs. It's actually pretty funny. Let's look at Profar even. So we'll go back to Let me do career. Career against lefties. He does have higher numbers, less home runs, but that makes sense considering you're going to see lefties way less than righties. But 260 batting average career versus lefties compared to 239 against righties. OPS is higher against lefties as well. Okay. Let's check. Let's check Profar versus fastballs. Last year, okay. It was okay. Let's go back 2 years ago. It was pretty good. Kind of inconsistent as well. None of these guys have like really good numbers. I don't think it matters as much just because I really am not the biggest, Rich Hill fan at this point. Profar certainly has the best odds down here at 6-1. Let me pull up the Braves again. Drake Baldwin looks okay. But we need to look how he does lefty-lefty. I don't know why there's no odds for Marcell Ozuna. Like, did he get hurt or something? I didn't see anything. I know like there was trade rumors for him. I don't understand why there's no odds though. Because that's who I want, but he's not listed here. Let me see if someone other than FanDuel has him. Because he's like, I don't know if my thing isn't updated, but I see him in the projected lineup. So I'm a little bit confused why there's no odds for him. And I don't, the Braves are so bad, 44-60. I mean, what a just disaster of a team. Yeah, I see like no odds anywhere. So I don't know if they like think he's getting traded or what, but on my end, he's in the projected lineup. So I don't know if Marcell Ozuna ends up being in this lineup and you can find home run odds on him, he would be my pick. Rich Hill is garbage. I mean, seriously, it might just be the over in that game. Strider this year, 3.95 expected ERA, still getting the strikeouts. Not as much as he used to, but still 30% is very good. Hard hits are a career high, though, at 41%. Exit velocity is a career high at 92%. Yeah, their fall off is so bad. I was like really high on them coming into the year. I'm glad I didn't end up betting them because I'd just be max tilting. Well, let's check the weather. Yeah, it actually looks really good. Hot and humid, 93, really high dew point. Yeah, I'm in. This actually might be my big bet. I might go over 9.5. This might be my favorite bet. Braves Royals over 9.5. Really, really good hitting weather. It looks like 93, 77-ish dew point is really good. Upper 70s dew point is really good. And I definitely think you can score on Rich Hill, and Strider has kind of been, he's been okay. All right. Reds is a maybe. I'll probably bet this over. I'll probably bet the Giants. I'm definitely hitting this over 9.5 now. This is probably my favorite bet today. And then I want to bet some props. I guess we can look like we know Strider what he does. So he's gonna be 55, 60-ish% fat. He's fastball slider. That's all he throws. So let's check the Royals out here. Bobby Witt, number 1 on the team, expected, weighted on base, no shocker there. He's 351 actual, 381 expected. Salvi, we were betting him for a minute. He's still due for some regression. He's at 321 actual, 370 expected. So that's like that's a really big gap. So I'm still willing to buy in on him a little bit. And everyone else after that, it's pretty mid, to be honest. So let me look at Salvador Perez here. He has okay fastball numbers. Pretty good, actually, for the majority of his career. Bobby Witt, I don't really care. You don't really need to convince me on him. I don't know if we have much of a history between these guys. So let me just see. No, we really don't have anything to go off of there. On either side, to be honest. All right, I'm going to take the over in that game. I might look at some props, but I really just want Ozuna, and I don't know why there's no props for him. So, but yeah, I like the over in this game. Other than that, I think that does it for today. Wednesday, we'll do golf, and Steve will come on, so we'll have a big stream Wednesday. Tomorrow, we'll talk baseball, football. Maybe we'll go through my rankings update tomorrow on the stream. Try and have that done by then. Free fantasy football content, rollinginsights.com. Go check that out. Big draft article coming out late next week. Fantasy Football Expo next week. Hopefully I see some of you guys there. If you come to the Fantasy Football Expo, don't be shy. Come say what's up. Good luck tonight with your bets, daily fantasy, all that stuff. Football game on Thursday. So if you guys want some analysis, we will be betting the football game Thursday. Travis, what's up? Travis, are you in Vegas? You still in Vegas? When do you come back? We will be covering the Hall of Fame game Thursday, daily fantasy, and betting. So I'm so excited. You guys know I love some preseason football. Just checked out. Okay. Nice. Well, safe travels. Good luck tonight, everybody. I will be live tomorrow, same time, same place, and I will see you then. Have a good day.